Picture this. It's January 10th, 1999. The American gangster genre has peaked and enjoyed many years of success but was on a steady decline. A little show named The Sopranos was greenlit 2 years prior and was set to broadcast on HBO. This very show that was famously passed on time and time again by the likes of Fox and CBS. A show that went on to span 6 seasons, 86 episodes, and went on an absolute award-winning streak, boasting 21 Primetime Emmy Awards, 5 Golden Globe Awards, and even a Peabody. The show has garnered a 9.2 out of 10 on IMDb with over 535,000 reviews. This was a TV series that brought forward the anti-hero, James Gandolfini playing the series' main character, Tony Soprano. Without this on-screen performance, we wouldn't have future favourites such as Walter White,
Holy Mother of God!
or Dexter Morgan.
Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
This is a character that is so fleshed out with visions of his past and upbringing. It will show Tony's infidelity, anger, depression, joy, sadness, and more or less any emotion you can think of. This is one of the most well-written anti-heroes to ever grace our TV screens, and James deserves his flowers. A reason the show was initially passed on was the aspect that a mob boss would never see a psychiatrist. I'm willing to bet 99.9% of the viewers out there are not connected in any shape or form, so for the sake of argument, our Don sees a psychiatrist, and our Don, he wears shorts.
One other thing, though. John said he went to a cookout at your house. Yeah. Don doesn't wear shorts.
This is a rare show where the supporting cast, nearly anyone who has any sort of screen presence, is perfect casting, boasting multiple recognizable Italian-American actors. In fact, the series shares 27 actors in common with the 1990 Martin Scorsese epic gangster film Goodfellas. Personally, probably my favorite mob film of all time. Looking back at the series, I think it would make for a great discussion with any viewer who their favorite character of the show is. I personally would gravitate towards Christopher Moltisanti. Spider not only got his revenge in this series, but stands out as a highly fleshed out and complicated loyal, but often drugged out crew and family member. But as soon as you mention Chris, you can't forget about Paulie Gualtieri, the king of repeating his own jokes, wise-ass remark-making, germaphobe whose hand signs are iconic. Or could it even be Silvio Dante, the most loyal right-hand man you could hope for? A Scarface-quoting pimp of the bada bing. Or could your favourite character be as simple as Tony's constant heavy breathing and fainting on sight of deli meat? I can't lie, the breathing is its own character in this series. However, a character I know will never be in discussion as the greatest character of The Sopranos. That award goes to Vito Spatafor. Now, I could spend the entire video meat riding one of the greatest shows of all time with no complaints. However, ultimately, I'm going to split this ranking into its best and worst season. A quick runner-up for the weakest season of The Sopranos, as truly there are no bad seasons. But if I had to do an honourable mention, it would go to Season 1, for me personally. It comes down to the simple fact that the show isn't fully fleshed out at this stage. We are learning more of Tony's psyche, rather than seeing him boss up and be the Don he later becomes. Essential, yes, and that's why it's my runner-up for weakest season. However, Season 6, the final season, while once again, not a bad season, it's actually the longest season in the series. Vito and his runaway gay love story takes up so much time at the start of this season. I would have honestly thought that Netflix made this show. If I have to see this man waddle his way down a low-key town looking for a volunteer fireman to bum him for another second, I'm going to scream. This season also, unfortunately, shows the worst traits of Tony's son AJ. Credit to Robert, as he acts as a spoilt, rotten, whiny, good-for-nothing waste of space in this season. A true Nepo baby. I mean that in the best possible way. He honestly plays it so well. However, it doesn't make for a likable character to watch on screen. Negativity aside, I think the show hit its absolute peak in seasons 3 and 4, which I dub the Ralph seasons. Ralph Cifaretto, played by Joe Pantoliano, played by Joe, is a soldier turned captain and is the main antagonist for these 2 seasons. The pegging king himself is often regarded as the most hated character of the series, and that's the difference between Ralph and AJ for me personally. His antagonizing ways make the viewers relate to and support Tony more than ever in this show. From seeing him beat a poor young stripper to death, to then seeing his weaker side as his son lays in a hospital bed. Ralph brings out the most chaos in this show, and I think it's where the series shows every strength it has in its arsenal. This is a show often regarded as one of the greatest of all time. It started a movement that made people look at TV differently, as a more serious medium that could rival that of Hollywood movies. Nearing 20 years on since its infamous ending, it remains just that. A near-perfect piece of television that delves deep into all its main characters, Maine and Gumar. A show that not only shows you the worst and best of life, but how they got there and why the choices were made. Oh yeah, and the ending in The Sopranos, the ending is just